So the question is, did I find the secret sauce for long-term success when it comes to street photography? 2024 unexpectedly became one of the best street photography years I've had in a very long time. And there are a few things that led up to it that I will talk about in a bit. But I'm determined to find out the things that did work and didn't work in 2024. All right, so let's get into it. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome as well. My name is Ambreen, aka Hipster in Copenhagen. I talk about street photography on this channel. I'm obsessed about it. I also have a website. I have a gear list where all the information is. All right, so let's jump into the video. I want to talk about things that I didn't do in 2024. And the first one is less editing. So I freed up a lot of time by not editing as much as I used to do. So back in the day when I had my Sony a7C, I also shot RAW. I did a lot of editing also because I was learning about editing, how to edit and getting better at it and developing that skill. But since then, and since I bought my Fuji X100V, I don't have the same need because I use the film simulations that my camera has. And I only do basic adjustments now, and that significantly freed up a lot of my time. And the next thing is gear. So in 2024, I didn't buy a lot of gear compared to other years. So the only camera gear I bought was my Leica M6 and a 28mm and a 58mm Voigtlander lens. Aside from that, I didn't add anything else. And when I was doing my year in review video, you can watch that on the channel, I realized that I only have one wish, and that is to own a Leica lens for my Leica camera. But that's not something that I'm just dying to buy. It's just I would like to buy that if the opportunity presents itself. But aside from that, I feel strangely content. For now, I'm enjoying not having a big wish list. The last thing I want to talk about is procrastination. So in my private life, I tend to procrastinate, especially when it comes to my street photography, because I'm a little bit busy during the week because of my work. But I managed to shift my mindset around street photography and the fact that I want to go out as much as possible to go out and shoot, making a habit of going out daily or as much as possible throughout 2024 to a degree that if I don't go out now, I actually miss it. So procrastination was left firmly in 2024. So what did I do in 2024 for street photography? So I want to talk about three things. So the first one is, and it's actually one of the bigger ones, and I also talked about it a little bit earlier, I changed, or I tried to reset my mindset when it comes to street photography. So the way I do street photography, how I perceive it, how I identify with it, who am I as a street photographer? So all these questions came up. So I tried to be much more open to new things and photographic concepts. So one of the prime examples is that I've always loved night street photography. I've always loved silhouette photography and high contrast photography. That actually shifted a lot back in the end of 2023 and also going into 2024, that I started to do much more candid or classic street photography during the day. I started to use f8 and nothing below that. And before that, it was around 1.8 or 2.8 at the maximum. So there's been huge contrast, huge shifts 2024 in terms of my street photography and what I want to get out of it. I don't restrict myself in terms of photography because I felt like at certain things I had a fixed mindset because I've tried it, it worked well, I could master it, so to say. That way it also kept me locked into a certain way of doing street photography. And as I said, that ended up restricting me so much that I lost all joy for street photography at some point in 2023. So it was very hard to get back to finding my joy. And 2024, as I said in the intro, has been one of the best years. And I've been doing street photography for over 9 years now. But this didn't happen overnight. It has been a long time underway. I call it my journey of self-discovery. So getting back to finding my joy, finding out and figuring out who am I as a street photographer. That also naturally means that what kind of street photography do I want to do? What resonates with me? What draws me in? And what are the triggers? And that naturally led me to the next thing I did a lot in 2024. I did a lot of photo walk, but the main driver was, or the underlying factor was that I went to the same spot. So I had my local beat or my regular beat that I went on. And that was really helpful because it actually freed up a lot of mental space in terms of I didn't have to figure out where to go. I could just go to the same spot. I was familiar with the same stretch of street. For me, it actually became a exercise or challenge to figuring out how can I capture new photographs of the same things that in the same route that I'm walking every single day. Still to this day, and we are over a year into it, I'm still doing it. I still go to the same neighborhood because it's so filled with contrast that it just triggers me emotionally, and it triggers me, in terms of giving me so much inspiration. Also, I love the concept of only having a few spots that you can go to, because it just allows me not to overthink. I don't need to plan. I don't need to have a lot of transport time. I just hit the streets and see what happens. Thirdly, one camera, one lens setup, which is my very minimal setup. So for the past 2 years, I've had the Fuji X100V, and that has a fixed lens on it, so it's the 35mm equivalent. And since then, the Leica M6. Both of them has been my main EDC, first the Fuji and then the M6. So EDC means everyday carry, and I literally carry my cameras everywhere. And one of the beneficial things about carrying your camera with you is that you're always on the lookout for photo opportunities that just randomly occur and that you couldn't have foreseen. And also you are able to capture those moments. The next one is that my awareness, my presence is heightened. So even though I'm not looking actively, I'm not hunting for photographs when I'm just having my camera in my hand, even though it's on around my neck or on my shoulder or in my bag, I am subconsciously looking. Using one camera, one lens setup, especially with the M6, has pushed me to relearn or rediscover street photography in a different way. So also combining that with the mindset shift. This made me better understand what motivates me, what draws me in. So it keeps me going that I want to go out as much as possible to hit the streets. Number 4 is that I started to prioritize street photography. I made it a priority because it's my hobby, it's my passion. I get a lot out of going out on the streets and making photographs. And also it's a way for me to decompress from a busy schedule. And also the more I did it, the more I liked it. I wanted to do it again and again. And that's why I went to the same spot over and over again. I cannot even tell you how many times I went to the same street. I think some of the people, actually the store owners, they know me because I'm just walking there at all times with my camera. And I like that part, taking photographs day in, day out, putting in the work. To be honest, it makes me happy. And why not make it a priority then? So what is the blueprint or roadmap for 2025? So roadmap is such a consultant word. But what is my plan for 2025? And can I continue that momentum that I had in 2024 of having the best year I've had in many, many years? So first of all, yes, I want to continue that momentum and just enjoy street photography, as I just mentioned, overthink everything. If I see something, I'll take a photo. And that has worked really well for me. The next thing is that I want to focus on all my analog activities. I talked about it in another video. You can find it on the channel. I will link it down below. I have implemented these analog activities in my daily life also from last year. And those analog activities are the surrounding activities that all work as a support system for my street photography that keeps me motivated to go out daily. One of the things are that I want to work on my digital zines. I've wanted this for a very long time. I put in all the supporting things to get ready to do it. And this is my creative outlet. I want to show the work that I'm doing, and I feel like it gives my street photography a purpose. I could put it out digitally for somebody to look at, or at the very least, it would be for myself. Also, I want to keep an open mind to new concepts, new ideas, and especially when it comes to street photography. And as experience shows, that really helped me get through a rough patch. I've been thinking about a few other things that I might try out, I'm not sure, and shifting my mindset to where I say, of course I can do it, and I don't hide behind, I don't have time, I have a busy schedule. If I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. Of course, with a bit of planning. All right, I think that's my secret sauce for 2025. I'll see you in the next one.